Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we crack open corporate documents and see exactly what is bubbling underneath that shiny exterior. Today we are diving into a report from Lantern Pharma, Incorporated, and let's just say the 13th of November 2025 was quite the day for them and for us trying to understand what it all means. This is a Form 8K, which is like a special announcement filing to the US Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC for short. It is usually for big news that the public needs to know about right away, not just waiting for the usual quarterly report. Lantern Pharma Incorporated, headquartered in Dallas, Texas, filed this report on the 13th of November 2025. They are reporting on their financial results for the third quarter that ended on the 30th of September of that year. You might know them from their stock trading under the symbol LTRN on the Nasdaq stock market. This report confirms they are still considered an emerging growth company, and they are choosing not to use the extended transition period for new accounting standards. The main reason for this filing is to announce their financial results. Lantern Pharma Incorporated, or the company as they call it here, put out a press release on the 13th of November detailing how they did in the third quarter of 2025. This press release is included as an exhibit with this filing. They also held a conference call and webinar that same day to discuss these results. A presentation used for that event is also part of this filing. Now, it is important to note that the information in these sections, including the press release and presentation, is not considered officially filed for certain legal purposes. This means they are not subject to the same strict liabilities as other parts of the report unless they are specifically incorporated by reference elsewhere. Think of it as them sharing information but not wanting to be held fully responsible for every single word in that specific announcement context. So, what are these exhibits telling us? Exhibit 99.1 is the press release from the 13th of November, announcing their financial results for the quarter ending the 30th of September. 2025, Exhibit 99.2 is the presentation used for the conference call and webinar discussing those same third quarter results. Then we have Exhibit 101, which is the cover page interactive data file. This is basically a structured data file in a format called inline XBRL, which makes it easier for computers to read and analyze financial information. It is like preparing your figures in a way that software can easily digest. Signing off on this report is David R. Margrave, the Chief Financial Officer for Lantern Pharma Incorporated. The date is the 13th of November 2025. Now, while the filing itself doesn't contain the full financial tables, it tells us a press release and presentation with those details were issued on the 13th of November 2025. This means the core of the financial story is in those attached exhibits which we can't directly see in this snippet, but we can infer the nature of the announcement. Typically, these results would highlight revenue, earnings per S-hair, and any significant operational developments. For a company like Lantern Pharma, a biopharmaceutical company, these results would likely focus on things like progress in their drug development pipeline, clinical trial updates, and any partnerships or collaborations. The fact that they are issuing a Form 8K to announce these quarterly results suggests there might be something particularly noteworthy in this quarter's performance. Or perhaps the timing aligns with a significant corporate event. Emerging growth companies often have a lot of volatility as they are still developing their products and trying to achieve profitability. Their investor narrative focuses on future potential and pipeline progress. A 20% drop in revenue, for instance, could mean they are seeing lower sales of a particular product or a delay in a key drug approval. On the other hand, a significant increase in revenue could signal successful market penetration or positive clinical trial outcomes that boost investor confidence. Looking at the context, Lantern Pharma is in the highly competitive and capital-intensive pharmaceutical industry. Their success hinges on innovation and the ability to bring new drugs to market. Any financial results would be scrutinized for signs of progress in their clinical trials and the overall health of their drug pipeline. For example, if they announce positive phase 2 trial results for a promising oncology drug, that would be a huge catalyst. Conversely, setbacks in trials or regulatory hurdles would likely result in negative financial implications and a drop in their stock price. With the information provided, we know the report concerns the financial results for the third quarter of 2025, announced on the 13th of November. In the absence of the specific financial tables here, we have to assume the press release and presentation unveiled the key performance indicators investors care about. This includes how much money they brought in, what their expenses were, and whether they made a profit or a loss. For a company like Lantern Pharma, a crucial aspect would be their research and development spending versus their ability to generate revenue, a delicate balance between investing in the future and showing current financial health. Typically, early-stage biopharmaceutical companies are in a growth phase, meaning their expenses, especially in R&D, can be high, and profitability may not yet be a reality. Their valuation is often based on the potential of their drug pipeline. Now, looking at these results more broadly, Lantern Pharma is navigating a very high-stakes industry. Their direction depends heavily on the success of their research and development efforts. The strengths lie in their potential to develop groundbreaking treatments. However, the major risks are inherent in drug development. Lengthy timelines, high failure rates in clinical trials, and intense regulatory scrutiny. The opportunity for them is significant if they can bring a successful drug to market, especially in areas with unmet medical needs, potentially leading to substantial revenue growth and critical advancements in healthcare. So, to summarize, this Form 8K filing from Lantern Pharma Incorporated serves as an immediate notification of their third quarter 2025 financial performance, accompanied by a press release and presentation. We do not have the raw numbers here, but the filing points to the public release of this crucial financial information. My take on this is that while we cannot see the exact numbers, the fact that they put out an 8K report and not just wait for a regular quarterly filing suggests something important happened in the third quarter of 2025. It could be very good news that they wanted to share quickly, or perhaps a development that required immediate disclosure under CC rules. For investors, the key will be to dig into that press release and presentation. Look for updates on their drug pipeline, any positive or negative trial results, and how their financial position has changed. The pharmaceutical world is a long game, and short-term numbers can sometimes be less important than the long-term potential of their research. Alright, that is our breakdown of what the Lantern Pharma Incorporated filing is all about. What is your take on these announcements and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Also, a quick reminder that we have a Discord community linked in the description below where we discuss these filings and more. Thanks for watching, see you next time.